Smoke could be seen rising over the western Ukrainian city of Lviv. According to the city's mayor, several missiles hit an aircraft repair plant at the airport complex, destroying its building. Witnesses report hearing at least 3 explosions in different parts of the city. The mayor there said there were no casualties as a result, though, of this Russian airstrike. Today, President Biden is set to have a phone call with the president of China. The talk is to try to keep open the lines of communication between the two countries. According to a U.S. diplomat, China might be interested in giving military aid or financial help to Russia and Vladimir Putin. The last known time that President Biden spoke with Xi Jinping was in November, when they held a 3-hour virtual summit.
The House passed legislation suspending trade with Russia, the measure passing 424 to just 8, with all opposition coming from Republicans. The bill would suspend normal trade relations with Russia by revoking its most favored nation status, a move designed to further isolate Moscow's economy in response to President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine. The bill paves the way for President Biden to introduce higher tariffs on Russian goods like steel, aluminum, and plywood.
As the fighting continues in Ukraine, the way out for those trying to escape has really become more difficult and dangerous.
UN officials say the number of those crossing the border has dropped just a bit over the last 48 hours, but they do warn it's likely just a temporary slowdown.
Yeah, already more than 3 million refugees have left Ukraine, nearly 2 million of them traveling to Poland as missiles continue to gut cities, towns, and villages, leaving food, water, and fuel scarce, if available at all.
And for those who do manage to make it to the border, the effects of their harsh journey and the horrors of war are more evident than for those who came before.
The refugees who have been coming across are more vulnerable, in a more traumatic state than those ones who came in the first days and maybe the first week.
Now, according to the UN, there have been at least 1,900 casualties in Ukraine. As of March 15th, there were 726 civilians killed. Children are numbered among those. Nearly 1,200 people were injured.
The State Department did confirm the death of a second American citizen that was killed in Ukraine. The AP reporting the American was killed by Russian forces while waiting for bread. He's at least the second United States citizen to be killed in conflict after the death of the American journalist last week. Secretary of State Antony Blinken could not provide details on the death, but he did reiterate President Biden's statement that Russia has committed war crimes.
President Biden said that, in his opinion, war crimes have been committed in Ukraine. Personally, I agree. Intentionally targeting civilians is a war crime. After all the destruction of the past 3 weeks, I find it difficult to conclude that the Russians are doing otherwise.
Blinken went on to say that Moscow may be setting the stage to use a chemical weapon and then falsely blame Ukraine to justify escalating attacks on Ukrainian people.
Take a look.